while we were trying to put up the entire, like basically the 5 things we've learned from this game, the 5 takeaways and all of that, we basically would, be seeing like crazy stuff going on social media, especially with, other players and all of that. But we're not going to break these things down. What we've come here to do is to talk about what we have learned from the game. So many things we learned, so many things we can, talk about. But then in the end, we have to be very pragmatic and positive about this 1-0 defeat for Manchester United in the Premier League, especially on the opening day. Another opening day defeat to start the season. But another thing, I'm just going to make a note of what Rio Ferdinand has said, basically, about the game. Rio Ferdinand said, cheap goal giveaway. This is on X. Cheap goal giveaway, positive 50 minutes. Other than the cheap goal, high intensity, in and out of possession. Mbeumo, Cunha, and Mount all showing positive signs. Not just Mount and Mbeumo and Cunha. We have also Bruno. We have Casemiro spreading play and creating opportunities. We have Sesko coming in and creating 2 chances. Not clear-cut chances, but 2 chances that could have led to goals. A whole lot of things. So we're going to just kind of give you, because right now I'm seeing the Arsenal saying, Mikel Arteta's record against Man United, win 8, draws 2, and lost 3. Another win added to the collection. Noni Madueke saying, on Instagram, win, but lots to improve on for sure. Thanks for the support and things like that. Then Ruben Amorim's takes on the Arsenal team is basically on the Arsenal defeat. Is I think the most important thing is we're not boring. I think we clearly deserved a different result. I'm proud for the game. I'm proud for the game they played, but we lost. That's Ruben Amorim. And then Mikel Arteta deluding himself again. He says, we know that we are much better than certain moments we played. We have to be humble about how we scored the goal, but games are won in both boxes. So it's pretty much some thoughts there. Obviously, basically, other people have talked about the fact that there was a clear foul leading to goal on Bayindir, and if this is how Arsenal are going to play this season, then they are in big trouble. Just as I said yesterday in the match review, they are in big trouble. Look at the trash they put on display against a team that escaped relegation last season, and they are comfortable with it because VAR was in their favor as always. Well, Man United, and then the person talked about the basically the match preview, like stats and stuff. 63% to 37% in possession, 476 total passes to 296, 395 passes completed to 222 for Arsenal, 267 passes forward to 183. When it comes to attacking, Man United had 22 or 23 shots to Arsenal's 9, 17 chances created to Arsenal's 5, 7 shots on target to Arsenal's 3, 7 shots off target to Arsenal's 3, and 8 block shots to Arsenal's 3, and then touches in the opposition box 36 to Arsenal's 19. So Man United have actually played Arsenal off the park. But now we're back to what we learned from the game. 5 things we learned from the game from United versus Arsenal. The first one is bright new look attack, nearly already showing promise. Mbeumo, Cunha, Dorgu, Mount gave Old Trafford a glimpse of what Ruben Amorim's new look attack can do, especially even with Sesko coming in as well. The improvement was sharp, the pressing was intense, and Arsenal were pinned back for much of the first half and the second half as well. And the finishing touch was missing, but the framework of the dangerous front line was very evident. You could actually see that if you don't align, you fall out, on which would talk about certain things with regards to how Ruben Amorim reacted to the game post-match. But also, these are signs that Man United have improved this season. There's progress. We can actually see the visible progress after a good preseason and all of that. So yeah. Then also number 2 in this process is basically in the 5 things we've learned is that once again, set piece is still a concern, especially with Arsenal. Yeah, no doubt the set piece was fraudulent. You could actually see it was fraudulent, with Mikel Arteta saying, "Oh, the games are won on both boxes and stuff." That's facts. But did they win the game in both boxes? Nah, not really. But it is what it is. They defended properly well. Yeah, they defended well. Fraudulent tackles. Saliba tackle on Cunha was fraudulent because the ref didn't give a penalty that he should have given. But Arsenal fans, when we talk about things, if it'll feel like, oh, we're crying. But when it's them, it is, oh, the VAR is against us. They're always against Arsenal. But the truth is, one thing I know for a fact is there's a proverb that says, and I think I came up with that proverb, I don't know, but you will know this with life generally, that the rain that falls on one person will fall on another. If it falls on you, it's going to fall on your neighbor. It's going to touch everybody. And guess what? It's going to get to Arsenal eventually soon. Now we're going to look out for them crying on social media because that's what they do every season. So it is what it is. So set piece is still a concern. There was a foul on Bayindir. The ref didn't pick it up. The ref didn't give it and all of that. But it's all good. Ruben Amorim has said in post-match that if that is how they're going to be given it, then we'll probably have to do it as well. If that is the rule that you can touch the keeper, foul the keeper, then the keeper will be worried about pushing the player instead of trying to catch the ball in the air. So keepers have no protection. It is what it is. We're going to do it. We're going to get a chance, and Arsenal are going to get what they're offering, right? So it is what it is. We have to just keep moving and pushing forward from this. The third thing is that Patrick Dorgu, brings balance and boldness. He's improved over time. He's improved in the team and all of that. You can see it. Once again, United considered a corner, echoing an issue. Before we get to the Patrick Dorgu situation, United considered a corner, echoing an issue with that cropped up several times last season. Bayindir was unlucky under pressure from Saliba, but questions will be asked about the organization, the decisiveness in the box, and Amorim knows United must tighten up in these moments if they are to mount a serious challenge. Truth is, like I said, Bayindir was fouled. In the match review, you will see where I said Bayindir was fouled, but the ref didn't see it. VAR didn't check it. They allowed the goal to go. It was a cheap goal, an easy goal, but it is what it is. Arsenal got that, and one day it's going to be Man United's turn to get a cheap goal like that, and I want to see how Arsenal will react, and I'm going to point them back to this video. Back to number 3, Dorgu balances. Dorgu brings balance and boldness. Patrick Dorgu also wasted no time endearing himself to the fans with his fearless forward runs, his thunderous strike against the post, and a standout moment for United's first half. This was a standout moment for Man United's first half, and his consistent overlapping provided width to complement Fernandes and Cunha's central creativity. He looks like a left-sided upgrade with real bite, and you could see, because to be able to consistently press from the left, Shaw needed to also push up a little bit to help Dorgu, so that when Shaw was faced with Saka while Dorgu was dealing with probably Ben White or Jurgen Timber, Shaw could also hold himself up, and I give Shaw the credit. He did really well in that game. So Patrick Dorgu, brings balance to the right, to the left, and then on the right, Dalot and Euro were working, but it was not, that dynamic wasn't really there. But you could tell that when De Ligt and Ahmad were playing on that side, with Mbeumo, you could see that balance because Ahmad and Mbeumo could switch from time to time, and then De Ligt could cover Ahmad's channels and all of that. It was working. It was really, really working, and there was balance, especially when Ahmad came in, which we'll get to eventually. So yeah, it was an upgrade with real bite move. As for De Ligt, who I talked about just now, he's already a leader. You know, I watched him with keen interest to see how he performed as a center piece of the center back. Matthijs de Ligt looked like he's been at Old Trafford for years, you know, commanding, you know, physical and vocal, and he shut down both Saka and Havertz. Even with their super signing Victor Gyökeres, he didn't have a sniff. He was bodying, he was waiting for, de Ligt was bodying him and waiting for opportunities for, you know, to pounce and all of that. So I was pretty impressed, especially in crucial moments. And his reading of the game and leadership qualities already make him feel like a cornerstone of Amorim's defensive project. And that's something we've seen over time, we've seen for a long time and all of that. But then De Ligt has matured into the leader at the center back. He was blocking all channels, covering all channels. He had an astounding and an amazing performance. So it is what it is. We move on to the next one, and that is for Ahmad. You know, Ahmad was a spark off the bench. He was a spark off the bench. He was one that you could actually see that he was actually doing something when he came on for Diogo Dalot. Once again, you know, he changed the tempo when he came on. You know, his trickery, his ability to beat defenders, his link up with Sesko created openings that Arsenal struggled to handle, and he's quickly proving himself to be too dangerous to remain in a rotation option for too long, or for long. And I know Ruben Amorim had to try, you know, the conventional right wing back in Dalot, but it worked in the first half, but there was no bite. And then when Ahmad came on, there was bite, and that's the number 5 thing we learned. You know, the entire team, you know, really played well. The front three of Cunha, Mbeumo, and Mount really played well, pressed well, won balls up, and all of that. And they won their duels as well. So we're going to, you know, basically, you know, be seeing more of this. And if this is what we expect, you know, because you could tell from your first game of the season how your season is probably going to go. And you could tell how we played compared to all the other seasons where we started first, how we started. You could tell that from how we played, that we would progress in this season. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section, and let me know your thoughts and feelings in the about the whole situation when it comes to, you know, Ahmad and Dorgu and De Ligt and the whole team. These are the standout players in the team, so don't forget to drop your comments in the comment section. Now we're going to give some bonus insights before we wrap this up. With regards to Bayindir, he needs confidence, not criticism, and that is what I've seen from most content creators. They said, oh, but Bayindir had a howler and all of that, but Amorim came out firing to defend Alta Bayindir. I'm going to try and do a reaction video to what Amorim said and how he reacted, shout to Bayindir, to Onana, and to all the questions that were asked of him with regards to, you know, the player, right? Because the truth is, you wanna be able to defend your players and talk about them in the positive light, and not to kind of make them lose confidence in what they stand for and how they play and all of that. So yeah, Amorim came out firing, defending Alta Bayindir, and obviously the press were trying to criticize him and everything. The Turkish goalkeeper will be, you know, aggrieved at the goal, but overall he distributed really well. He made smart claims, and we're gonna just look at his stats with regards to how he distributed in the game. So basically his passing stats were amazing. He basically had so many touches in the game. I think he had 56 touches in the game, but also his passing stats, you could tell that he really, you know, linked up play, you know, properly without issues. He passed the ball to Cunha a lot, you know, and all of those things. So these are kind of like metrics you can actually use to tell that, you know, Alta Bayindir really did well in the game. So we're going to talk about his passing stats for that game, yeah, we're going to talk about his passing stats for that game. In that game, he actually, showed what he was made of. He passed a couple of long balls that were not off, right? You could tell they were not off. I think he gave Cunha about 6 or 7. He gave 6 or 7 accurate passes. If I'm going to remember correctly, he gave 6 or 7 accurate passes, and he showed that, okay, we can actually use him to play out from the back. We can actually use him to play out from the back. He had a mixed day, but was very, very interesting and amazing to watch. That's pretty much on Bayindir. If we're going to go to the next bonus point that I'm going to give, it will be on Sesko's debut. It was quiet, but it was very important. Benjamin Sesko didn't get the dream debut goal that he always gets, but his presence stretched Arsenal's backline and gave United an era outlet, even without much space. He occupied defenders in ways Højlund often had to do alone last season. He integrated into the squad. He's integrating into the squad, and his integration will be key across the campaign. We could see the difference when Sesko was there, but you could see that he was he was ready, but a bit off the pace. But compared to Victor Gyökeres, Sesko had a better debut. 20 minutes or 25 minutes played, he had a better debut than Gyökeres. Gyökeres could hardly even have a sniff at the defenders, but in the small 7-8 touches that Sesko had, you could tell that obviously he's ready to start the next game. And then obviously, with regards to Sesko, we should expect more in the season. Obviously, we deserve more in this game. We should have scored more goals. Mbeumo had chances that didn't hit the target and all of that. But yeah, we could have scored more. Cunha had more chances, that driving run, the marauding run from the back to the front, but he didn't shoot it hard when he got to the final third or to the box. And then obviously number 8, or the final bonus insight, would be that Old Trafford feels alive again. From the new fan zone atmosphere before kickoff to the thunderous roar when Sesko was introduced, the stadium felt really connected and energized, even in defeat. The performances were applauded, and the performances of players were applauded. The performance of the team was applauded by the fans. And after last season's turbulence, the bond between the crowd and the team feels like it's a valuable weapon that will push us through this season. So that's basically all about the things we've learned from this, campaign and from this season and all of that. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. I don't take for granted how far you guys have come with us in this journey and all of that. I don't take it for granted. I believe that Man United fans are the most amazing fans on earth when it comes to to football and all of that. But yeah, thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you haven't liked, shared, or subscribed already, please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't have to miss anything as it relates to Manchester United. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, goodbye, and God bless.